Woo! Got another Patreon, baby. That's my favorite part about Patreon.
Why can't I log into Patreon? Are you embezzling money from the Patreon?
Yeah, dude, I'm a mastermind.
I don't know why I can't log in. I've changed the password multiple times, and I still am unable to log in. They've locked me out.
Yeah, dude, I've got God mode. It's just hooked up to my phone. I don't understand. You couldn't have changed the password because otherwise my phone wouldn't still be logged in.
Did you change it?
No, it's the same password that we've had that is slightly racist and funny.
How is it racist? It's a soup.
No! Now we gotta change it.
Well, they don't know the number.
Oh, now they know there's a number.
Well, they don't know that it's a year of a movie.
They don't know Chinese people love it.
Well, they don't know. Shit.
They don't know. They don't know.
We basically just gave away our Patreon password.
Yeah.
That's our special Thanksgiving gift to you. Hello, guys. It's Mike and Matt. We're back again.
Welcome, guys.
And we're doing a very special episode for you today. Usually we're a crime podcast, but Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. And what we thought we would do is do kind of like a special little year-end episode all about Thanksgiving. We're going to have some call-in guests. We're going to have some characters.
We got a full slate
on the
for
show.
you guys today. Yeah. So
we're gonna
buckle up.
We're going to discuss 816830. It's Deb's iPad password.
So that's two passwords. You guys, one is like a little hint.
Are you going to edit this? We almost gave away our Patreon password. I'm sure they could guess what it was.
We'll change it. We're
going to have to change it.
But if you guess the old password, we will give you a prize.
Yeah, what's the prize?
Well, a jar of Mike Recine's pasta sauce.
We'll give you a shout out on the show.
Okay.
Now here's the clue.
You don't want to give away too much.
Now here's the clue. It's a.
We already gave away.
The old Patreon password.
We already talked about it. We got Chinese people love it. You know, I'm going to edit what we originally did in there.
Okay.
We got a number.
Chinese people love it. How do you know what Chinese people love? Name one
Chinese. In terms of soup?
Name one Chinese friend that you have. You can't just assume what kind of soup they like.
There's all these Chinese comics in the city. So, Margaret Cho is one of my friends.
All right. Now you're just talking because you feel like you have to.
Right.
Yeah, the password was a Chinese. Okay, fine.
we already gave it away. Go.
But there was a number afterwards, and the number is my favorite movie year.
Okay.
Perfect.
So if you can guess our password,
it's the movie year in terms of like the most movies that I like came out this year. It was a really good, solid year for movies, and a very solid year for the Best Actor category at the Academy Awards. And the guy who won was someone that you wouldn't expect, but there were a lot of real powerhouses nominated, and the award went to.
All right.
Yeah.
So you only get 1 week to guess. Next week we'll shout out to you.
If you guess that, we'll give you a shout out on the Patreon episode. Speaking of Patreon episode, guys, if you're a subscriber, thank you very much for joining the show.
You guys are the best. Thank you for all the messages. Everybody's been so kind.
They don't even like you.
No, like people message me and they
say you're their friend.
You've been coming along. That's what they say.
You're less.
But then there are like YouTube comments where they're like, "Your fucking producer sucks, sucks dick. Tell him to go kill himself." Stuff like that. So I mean, you got both sides of the coin.
That's my problem. Is that I'm loyal to a fault. You know? Yeah. I could have eliminated you from the show a long time ago.
Are you saying it was a fault?
Huh?
You said you're loyal to a fault. Was it a fault?
Loyal to a fault. Yeah. I'm too loyal.
Keeping me, was it a fault?
I keep the worst people in my life. I don't cut off anybody.
All right.
I keep truly awful people.
I'm not saying you. Okay,
I'm not saying you, but I'm saying like there are so many people that I could cut out of my life.
Right.
And I don't.
And you would be
because
like,
of this loyalty
you
that
would
I have.
you would be the next great comic had you cut all these people out.
Probably, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So me
I'd
and
have
Deb
at least no. I mean anyway, who cares? All right, so here's what we're doing today. I don't know what you're editing out. This is the third time we started the show. I don't know what you're keeping in, what you're editing out, but it's the special Thanksgiving episode of the podcast.
And before we move on, if you haven't yet, leave us a 5-star review on iTunes.
Leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. That helps us out a lot because we're up there. We got about 200 ratings, which is a good
225 right now.
225. That's a good look.
Yeah,
that's better than that's not.
But that's like a semi-hard penis. Like if we were taking a dick pic of our rating,
that's like a passable dick.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's like you're half drunk and
we're trying to send these dick pics to advertisers, y'all. So
yeah,
get us hard.
Get us hard, baby. Get us.
Write that in there, and if you haven't yet, those reviews will really help.
Yeah.
So,
do you ever like wake up with a boner and you feel bad that there's no one there to see it or
to see it? Yeah. I mean, I will next time for sure, but I haven't yet.
Sometimes I'll just be rock hard and there's nothing. I'll be like on the bus or something.
You're like, oh man.
Yeah. I usually just photograph it and send it to Deb.
Send it to your friends.
No, not my friends. Yeah, but anyway, so like I said, Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. I love Thanksgiving. I like food. I like making stuff. I like seeing family. I like, I cooked recently. My parents came up and visited. I made some pasta with sausage and broccoli rabe, and I miss having my grandmother there to like when you're cooking to like give you pointers.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Because that was nice.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I add,
Yeah.
But now she's in heaven getting her back blown out by Jimi Hendrix.
Up in heaven, getting her back blown out, listening to O&A.
Yeah.
O&A grandma last week got a lot of compliments.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
That was all Mikey Brooks. I didn't even know what he was talking about.
A lot of fun. Yeah.
I just kind of nodded my head and went along with it. It's funny to think that if heaven is like what everybody says on Twitter, like where you just have your body and you're like chilling, like, what are you doing?
And you're hanging out with celebrities somehow.
Like they would want to hang out with you. Like of all the billions and billions of people that have lived and died.
Yeah.
Just Jimi Hendrix. You get to chill with John Lennon. And then like if it's like that, like does John Lennon still like beat women in heaven?
His heaven, yeah, for sure.
His version of heaven. You go to your version of heaven.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So here's just the stuff I want to get into. I like Thanksgiving because it's kind of a disappointment. It's always like you build it up in your mind, and you get there, and you're like, okay, yeah. All right, turnips, mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
But you can just eat a lot of food.
I feel like Thanksgiving's a fuck up brother, and Christmas is like the brother with his shit together. So when the fuck up eventually loses it, like the good brother picks up the slack right after that. Does that hit with you?
Edit this out. So anyway,
leaving it in, you dirty bitch.
So I thought you were going to say something racist. So anyway, so what we're going to talk about with some guests today is like how to like innovate Thanksgiving, how to keep it fresh, how to keep it exciting,
right?
How to make it your own and express yourself.
Yeah.
Because you don't need to, you can put your own little spin on it. So we'll be talking to some friends about that. Mm-hmm. Also, I just want to say that like I don't know how I'm doing the show today. So some of you guys know I work for a moving company to supplement my income. I'm on the road a little bit. I just went to Charlottesville last week. I did a nice, beautiful theater.
Yeah,
I'm doing Philly and Atlantic City this weekend. If you guys want to come see me. I don't know where that ticket link is. I think it's Philly Comedy Club. Google Philly Comedy Club, and
Why don't
Google
you
Mike Recine Philly Comedy Club.
Just put it on your Instagram.
What do you want me to
put it on your Instagram? Make it easy for him.
There's nothing I hate more than like finding a link and posting it and promoting myself. It just makes me sick. We're all dying. I don't have time for that.
Huh.
Anyway,
we got to get some. Maybe I'll just take over as your little manager someday.
Fine.
Do all the fucking bullshit you don't want to do.
I'm at the Trop this weekend.
Okay.
The Tropicana on today if you live near Atlantic City. Come down. Luis Gomez and I did that gig recently, and we sort of drove in like through a back road because we stopped at a Wawa, and we passed this tavern-esque like Roadhouse-esque like little strip club, like maybe 5 miles out of Atlantic City. And I was like, I want to know what goes on in there.
And
I want to know I want to get in that world.
You guys stopped?
No, we didn't stop.
You can tell me if you guys stopped.
No, because it was before the show.
Right.
We had to eat our Wawa sandwiches and get to the...
All right, we can turn off our mics after this, and you'll tell me if you stop.
Why would I be embarrassed that I went to a strip club?
I'm kidding. It's a bit.
I've lived. I'm a grown ass man. And if I want to go to a strip club, I call Deb and I say, "Can I go?" And she Venmos me money to enjoy myself from our joint bank account. She allocates $25 to $30, and she says, "Enjoy yourself, baby."
I feel like Deb might pay like Fiverr to like listen to our podcast and figure out if we ever talk about her.
We have a lot to get to.
Sorry.
Okay.
I don't have the notes in front. Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to tell you something that J.D. Salinger told one of his mistresses one time. He said, "Please only talk if you have something interesting to say." Now, so a lot of you guys know I work for a moving company, to supplement my income. I don't have to. I would rather just like make money during the week and have the lifestyle that I want, which is which is premium dog food, I guess. Wine in the a bottle of wine in the house.
Don't forget dog food for the dogs.
That's what I like. Oh, because I eat it. Very good.
Yep.
There you go. See?
Fuck.
See, I let you know when it's good. There was a job yesterday. It was 2 trucks, Brooklyn to Boston, 6 guys at the load. Okay, so 6 guys are loading the 2 trucks because it's an apartment to a house. Mm-hmm. It's a house in Massachusetts. So 6 guys at the load, 3 guys at the unload. The problem was we got done the load around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Long story short, the job ended. I parked my truck at 9 o'clock this morning. So it started Monday morning at 7 a.m. 7 a.m. was when we met up, and I worked 26 straight hours.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how to process it. I might have PTSD.
Right.
I might have PTSD because I was trying to put this couple's crib together for their baby. And
this is on the move job?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Okay.
And the cocksucking screws keep falling out.
That's part of it?
Yeah, they pay like $120 to get their crib disassembled and reassembled, and the workers keep the money, which is nice.
Yeah.
So we split that money.
Yeah.
So
you guys split that money, but you did all the work putting it together?
Yeah, I did all the work, but the idea behind it is like the other guys are working while you're doing that. So yeah, I disassembled and reassembled the crib, and then the other 2 guys did the bed because there was a bunch of disassembly reassembly. Anyway, I just feel like we didn't leave the people's house because the truck kept breaking down. The second truck it kept stalling out, like on the highway. It would just die. So we had to keep pulling over the truck and restarting it. And I'm like, this is like dangerous. I was like, I'm gonna die out here. I'm gonna fucking die out here.
Yeah.
So anyway, whatever. That's what happened. I parked at 9 o'clock today, and then
26-hour job.
26-hour job. So I'm driving now. The thing is, when you drive, this might be boring. The thing is, when you drive north, like when you go upstate or to New England in a truck, there's only a few routes you can take. It's mostly parkways, to get up north.
Right.
Right. It's mostly parkways. So we just took. The guy I'm working with decides to take 95. I'm just sitting in rush hour traffic. We left the client's house at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah. I
didn't get back till 9:30 because on the way back on 95, I got stuck in morning rush hour traffic.
Yeah.
So I just I don't know. I might have to go to therapy or something for this because I just don't want to. I don't know.
Do you hate this guy now that you spent like a total of 12 hours together in the car?
Which guy?
Your main partner? The navigator?
Yeah, we kind of got into it. He's African.
Uh-huh.
And he's a guy that he's just he's from Senegal though. So it's not the right. Senegal's East Africa, I think. Okay. So the way he talks is like kind of I told him. It's not like the Trevor. No, it's not like that. He's like I can't do the accent that well. But anyway, he's a guy that he's kind of got an ego and he's
got you stuck in traffic.
Yeah, because he decides that we're going to take 95 all the way up to Boston. Now, it also fucked us up because the truck kept breaking down.
Right.
Right?
So you can't put it all on him, but
also if he was a little bit of a better navigator and figured out how to get us to 84 to 90, it would have went smoother because 95 is always a fucking shit show. And we took 95 back. I don't even want to think about. I think I have to put that phase of my life behind me.
And the reason you're thinking about retiring from moving now is you netted what? Are you comfortable talking about how much money you made up from the job?
I netted. Well, they're going to pay us some overtime.
Right, but I mean,
some overtime. But
is that time and a half or is that isn't there should be like a double penalty.
I made seven.
Right?
I made $7.20.
Because if you're working 2 pay periods, I think it's double time or triple time.
It doesn't go like that. We just get a percentage of the job. We're contracted. But it always comes out. Anyway, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I do want to say thank you to our Patreon subscribers. It's really nice of you. And you know what? To say thanks, I want to share something with you guys. What I would like to share is my mother's mashed potato casserole recipe.
And everybody gets this, even the non-Patreon.
Even the non-Patreon. And you know what?
Because we love you as well.
But I share recipes on the Patreon pretty frequently. I do have to be more active on Patreon.
Yeah.
I do have to give you guys more stuff. I'm trying to get better about that.
I think we'll start running it kind of more business-like so we can get you out of these fucking move jobs, dude.
We always talk about running our podcast like a business, and it's just never going to happen. It's never going to fucking happen.
Show up in fucking like goddamn sweats.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm sharing this with you. This is my mother's mashed potato casserole recipe. Now, what I like about this recipe is it's mashed potatoes, but instead of your standard butter and milk, it's made with cream cheese and sour cream. So there's a little bit of a tang. Yeah. I eat this. I only get to eat this once a year, and it's a shame because I like it so much. 5-pound bag of cooked potatoes, 8 ounces sour cream, 8 ounces cream cheese, 1 teaspoon garlic salt, 1 teaspoon onion salt, whipped together and put in buttered casserole. So you're going to cook the potatoes. You're going to cook the 5-pound bag of potatoes. I would use Yukon Gold or Russets, either one of those. Whip together and put it in buttered casserole dish. Dot with butter and sprinkle with paprika. Cover with foil and bake at 350 for 1 hour. Can be made 3 days ahead. Don't bake it until the day you eat it. Very easy recipe. You're just making mashed potatoes and baking them in the oven.
Yeah,
but it's very rich. Like the cream cheese gives it like a rich texture, and the sour cream gives it a nice.
No, it sounds good.
Nice little tang. It's good.
Sounds good. We should have you tweet that just so there's a place for people to read that, so they don't have to replay the same audio again. So just check Mike's Twitter and he'll post that recipe.
I mean, it's really easy. 5-pound bag of potatoes, 8 ounces sour cream, 8 ounces cream cheese, teaspoon garlic salt, teaspoon onion salt. And then you just bake that in the oven for 350 with melted butter and paprika. All right? That's from me to you. Nice little gift.
Cool. Sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
So I feel like I had all this stuff to talk about. But anyway, so what kind of the reason I have to put so now it's like I have to either make it in comedy or start my own moving company because I can't work for these fucking idiots anymore. You know? Like all these guys like I know how to get to Boston, and it's not 95.
Right.
It's not 95 all the way up. Because what we did was we took 95, which like runs along the coast. Then we took 91, then 84, then 90. It took us 7 hours to get up there. This is like...
You should be owning the company that takes half. You know, is there just some...
Absolutely,
is there just some fucking fat Italian guy like on his porch reading...
I don't have trucks. I don't have the paperwork. I don't want to do all that shit.
The paperwork?
Yeah,
like
you need
insurance?
paperwork to run a business. It's a ton of stuff. DOT regulations and like, I just want to get in the truck.
Yeah.
Move my stuff, piss in a bottle, and go home.
This guy definitely cut corners when he first started, though, you know? He was probably just like you. He was like moving people in the 80s.
Yeah, he's not a bright guy.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
In the 80s, he's like a little older than us.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So like 2000s even.
Yeah.
So he's come along in the last fucking whatever.
Yeah.
I think you could easily do it.
What were you telling me?
You should have been the point man. That's what I was saying earlier.
Of course I should, but I get pigeonholed as a driver because I'm one of the only guys who drives. What were you saying earlier that you were like, oh, yeah, I was too young when that came out. It was something about a woman or something. You were like, Sideways. You were like,
right.
We were talking about the movie Sideways.
Yeah.
And Matt was like, I got, they were like, I got uncomfortable. He goes, I got uncomfortable when they had sex in the movie Sideways. And I'm like, you were like 19 when that movie came out.
Didn't it come out in 2004? I remember not being attracted to that Asian girl and being like, no. And I didn't understand. Yeah, I didn't understand why Paul Thomas. What's the church?
Thomas Hayden Church.
Thomas Hayden Church.
She's hot in a way where it's like you don't notice it at first.
I didn't.
You know?
I didn't appreciate it. I was too young. That's what I was trying to say.
She's that kind of hot where it's like you don't realize it till a while, and then you're like, "What are these feelings?"
Yeah. I thought it was just hungry.
Go away.
You've got like a boner. You're like, oh, I thought I was just hungry.
I thought I wanted to eat our Patreon password. But anyway, I'm
gonna make myself a to-do list. Change Patreon password.
Okay, let's go to our first guest.
Okay.
He just doesn't pick up.
Hello.
Hey, it's Tim Dillon.
Hey, thanks for calling.
Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for taking our call.
Well, it's great to be on. It's a real honor.
You're welcome. It's our special Thanksgiving episode of the show. Tim and I, as you guys know, used to do a food podcast together called Stewed, and I think I've talked about this. Thanksgiving, I don't know, there's something. It's not a great holiday, but it's my favorite for some reason.
I mean, I think Thanksgiving, it's the first holiday you have Thanksgiving and then you have Christmas and New Year's. It's the holiday I think people take very seriously in terms of food.
Yeah.
And people fail. And
right.
I like that.
Right.
People fail. My stepmother once had a smoked turkey.
Yeah.
Like an animal. And she served cranberry relish instead of cranberry sauce.
Maybe
trying to get too fancy.
Right.
And those types of things caused me for the next decade to
be estranged from your family.
And suck cock with a numb mouth. Maybe be careful what you're serving.
Right.
And failure isn't funny at the other holidays.
That's kind of what it is. It's like a dress rehearsal for Christmas. So it's like your time to sort of like get your shit together, hone your skills. But it is funny that people fail because Thanksgiving is a very standard holiday. It's kind of like, there's not a lot of deviation.
Turkey is a very tough thing to cook.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ways to do it. A big turkey is, number one, as a meat, it's not that great. It's very easy.
No.
It's very dry.
Mm-hmm.
It's a holiday where we have a lot of traditional things, but it's very easy to, it's very easy to fuck them up.
Yeah.
So I think you gotta be very simple, and you gotta be very conservative in terms of like, if you can't walk, don't run. Don't try to make something.
I like that.
Right.
Like there are people that deep fry the turkey. There's people that do all kinds of things. I mean, I've always just pretty much had regular roasted turkey.
Mm-hmm.
But
do you brine? Do you think you get a brine?
I mean, I don't do anything. Usually the people that I'm going to, they brine. My aunt will do it.
Mm-hmm.
But then these are simple people. These are Long Island people. They don't have a lot of money. They get a butterball turkey. I mean, this is the way they live their life. I mean, it's, there's not a ton of planning that goes into this or anything.
Right.
They do. And they'll sit there and complain that they can't afford a knee surgery for the fucking duration of the meal. And
Right.
And I'll choke down some potatoes and say, well, don't be losers.
Right. Right.
I don't know what to tell you.
Right, like no one's gonna save you. The government's not gonna save you. It's like it's every man for himself out here.
Well, I just saw this guy, this Hassan Piker, who's like, he's a hot guy. He works for the Young Turks. He's like, one of these, and he's like, hey, why don't you film your Trump-loving relatives, show them breakdowns, which I don't even know what that means. They mean like the moms who've been separated from the kids at the border, and like he's like, film them getting triggered by the breakdowns, and then I'll review them on my Twitch. And it's like, could you be less serious of a human being than this person? Could you be less invested in actual change happening than this clown? Want, like, these people that just are like, hey guys, by the way, do this thing and I'll review it on my thing and like and subscribe. And it's like, come on, like, the whole thing is just ridiculous, man. It's like, if you don't want to argue with your parents about politics, have accomplishments to talk about. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like going to the Trump rally and it's like trying to catch people being stupid. It's not.
Yeah, and also that's an interesting thing too. It's like how to talk to your relatives about about this stuff, because I've seen people on social media be like, if your parents are conservative, you got to cut them off, kick your grandmother right in her pussy.
Here's what I'll say. Regardless of whether they're conservative or not, you got to cut them off. It's over.
Right.
Like, you know,
who needs parents?
I mean, here's the reality. At a certain age, you go to your family and you say, "Hey guys, what's going on?" You can't relate to your parents anymore. What kind of loser are you if you can relate to these people? It means you've done nothing.
Right.
I mean, what do you work at the same Wawa as your dad? You can relate to him. It was a big rush on Thursday. Yeah, okay, but if you've literally
your dad covers your shift.
Right, your dad's covering your shift.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with working with your
father worked at a dairy barn, and then he worked at a dairy barn. They were a dairy barn dynasty.
Right,
it was like a drive-through 7-Eleven in Long Island, and that was like. Everybody talks about like how bad like the Bushes are, and that's absolutely true. They're bloodthirsty, child fucking criminals. But isn't it sadder when one family's involved in a really shitty job?
Yeah,
it's like even worse. But everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I don't understand." Like, my uncle's like a real MAGA guy. He's like an idiot, I don't talk to him, and it's not because of that. It's because he's dumb.
Right. Right.
What are we going to talk about?
Right.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, Tim, you're obviously like a winner. You have a winner's attitude, but do you ever worry that like you're
I'm not really a winner. I'm a traveling clown. But go on.
You're doing
you're
well.
You're survivalist.
Though. But do you?
I'm in circus tents from here to Spokane. I'll give you that.
Do you ever feel like your pursuit of winning kind of gets you like a little isolated?
No, I think again that in life you have like 3 or 4 friends. Maybe you fall in love, and maybe you have a career that you like. And I've never expected more than that. I think if you expect more than that, I think you're setting yourself up for disappointment. I think if you're a person that really wants a lot of friends, or you want to be like in a community and kind of coddled or whatever, you kind of got to look at that. Usually when somebody is always surrounding themselves with all these people, or if you're one of these people, again, who's like, there's nothing wrong with being a family person, but if you can't do anything without your family, that's kind of weird too. I was always kind of somebody that was like, relatively independent person.
Yeah.
And again, that's because, I'm not sick. I'm not like, there's reasons that I can be that way that other people can't.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that other people don't have to depend on more people than I do, but like, at this, I'm able to kind of go and work and not worry about what my family says. I mean, again, like, with the whole sexuality thing, people were like, was it hard coming out your kids? And I was like, yeah, it was a little difficult, but if I was straight, I wouldn't ever be going to my family like, hey, do you approve of whoever I'm dating and who I'm going to marry?
Right.
There's none of that in me.
Yeah.
So the idea that there are people out there where that's like a thing, it's foreign to me.
Yeah. It's also weird coming out to your family because you're essentially like telling your parents that you fuck, which that's kind of strange.
Right.
Because I don't think my parents think I've ever fucked.
I mean, the reality is it was harder for me coming out to my parents because I'm pretending to be gay to succeed in comedy.
Right.
And they know So it's really hard when they know it's a lie. They're like rolling their eyes. They're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever, I hate you.
Right. That was a great strategy.
Solid move, Tim.
But I will say before I go, because I know you got other people to talk to.
Yeah.
I will say if you want to look at how dumb Republicans are, because there's no one really dumber. When they get dumb, there's no one dumber. Okay?
Right.
They're attacking Ocasio-Cortez because she doesn't have enough money, like trying to shame the poor, which is funny when I do it because I am poor.
Yeah.
I'm not, and all the money I make is from the circus.
Not in spirit, though.
Shit. What?
You're not poor in spirit.
Perhaps. But, like, when I do it, it's like these rich people on CNBC and stuff that are trying to tear her down and shit on her for not having a lot of money. It is so gross and ugly that they're going to lose an entire generation of people. And it's just they have Sarah Palin going after her now.
They're shitting on her for not having enough money? Is that what they're doing?
Sarah Palin like a caribou. Why is she even around?
Yeah.
She's not allowed to speak words. Like,
I don't know.
She's a retard, and the woman's out there. I mean, it's just so funny when you're like, oh, this is how they're going to contend with her. They're going to try to shame her for not saving more money. I'm like, who is this strategy for?
Was that what they were doing? They were shaming her for not having money, or because she doesn't look like she struggles?
The NBC article like, well, she should have saved more money, and all of this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Again, they are so, and she can't afford to live in D.C. and
yeah.
It's like it is such the wrong track. Trump has this thinly veiled racist populism.
Yeah.
Now they're like, okay, we're going to reject that. We're going to go back to the old plutocrat country club. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
You're trash. And it's like, oh, you people, they'll be in the wilderness for 100 years if they continue doing this.
For sure.
They're so fucking stupid.
For sure.
Yep. It's like amazing.
Yeah.
Also, Brussels sprouts don't really. Who cares?
That's what I wanted to ask you, real quick before we go. How do you sort of like innovate Thanksgiving? How do you
reinvent the classics?
It's a great question. If you really want to do something nice, I'm really not a fan of first courses.
Okay.
But if you do them, I think they should be very, very simple. I think appetizing should be hot. Should be some tips.
Yeah.
But if you're going to do a first course, I love the idea of it. Very simple. You can make it the day before butternut squash soup.
Okay.
Ah.
That you kind of hand out to people.
Yeah.
Kind of serve.
And that's not super heavy. It's not gonna fill you up.
Yeah, a little bit. They should get like a little shot of it almost. Teacup.
Oh, that's nice.
Squash soup, a couple of gingerbread croutons.
I like that.
Right.
Maybe it's on the table when everybody sits down.
Maybe a little pecan garnish or something.
Yeah, something very simple. Maybe they eat it at the table, or I think it's just really stick to the basics, and that's that.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's great.
All right.
Well, Tim, thanks for.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thanks for being on, Tim.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, do you want to plug anything? All right, he's gone.
he's always off the phone before you. Yeah. That was nice. That is a nice way. That is a nice thing to do. With like. Because you're kind of stuck to tradition with the sides and the turkey, but desserts are good and appetizers are good. Do a nice cheese plate. Throw a nice cheese plate together.
And I liked what he said. Like, stick to the classics. If you can't run, or if you can't walk, don't run. That's fucking solid advice.
Yeah.
In life, even.
Yeah. I think that's what I like about Thanksgiving. It's kind of like the dress rehearsal for Christmas and whatever. Or for winter holiday.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you for being
actually
so inclusive.
when people come to my house and they say Happy Holidays, I tell them to fucking leave. Get out of here.
That's so Tim Allen of you.
Yeah. Anyway, we got another guest to talk to. This guy, very
and send Tim
very
some love.
Bright.
Go listen to his podcast and check out his Netflix and stuff.
Yeah, he's not getting enough.
Come on.
Very. This next guy we're gonna call a very bright and insightful guy. I'll say maybe one of the most popular guests, if not the most popular guest that we've had.
Yeah.
On the show, really helped us take it to the next level.
That's right.
And for that,
eternally
I
thankful.
pledge my undying loyalty to this man. Let's give him a call.
Both these dogs are barking.
I know.
We'll get through it.
Hello?
Hey, Matt. What's up?
Hey.
It's Matt Christman.
That's me.
Hey, it's Mike and Matt. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us.
Thanks for talking to us.
On our special.
Yeah, of course.
All right, so I guess we just talked to Tim Dillon about Thanksgiving sides and appetizers. Are you do you have any plans for the holiday?
Not much. Me and my wife are going to have dinner. I'm not even sure what it's going to be yet. Just that it will not be turkey.
Ooh.
Oh, interesting.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Breaking the mold.
Why would you do that if you weren't being forced to by a stupid family tradition?
Interesting.
Right. Yeah.
Terrible, dumb bird that sucks.
Yeah.
That people only eat on Thanksgiving.
And you're not one of these. I'm going to deep fry it. I'm going to smoke it. I'll brine it. Because really,
no. Why are you going through these supernatural hoops to try to make this thing edible when there are vastly more delicious foods out there to eat instead? Just have one of those.
Damn.
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
so what are you thinking about doing?
whenever I don't know. Whenever
what sounds better?
When it's just been us. I mean, because if we're with family or something, eat the turkey because that's what everyone does because they're conditioned, man. But if it was just us, we have done a bunch of things in the past.
Just the boys.
We did osso buco once.
Okay.
With risotto, it was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
One time we got a pork shoulder, and we just put it in the oven for like a half an hour, and it was amazing. That's what we've done in the past when it's just been us. So we'll probably do something like that. Not sure exactly what yet.
Yeah, that's nice. Do you think that's an American thing to cling to like kind of shitty traditions that suck?
Oh yeah, no. I mean, look at the Constitution.
Yeah.
I mean, get over it for God's sake.
Right. That's what I love. I love seeing Twitter because you see a lot of guys on Twitter that are just like that's in their bio that they love the Constitution. And I don't get that.
Yeah, they just love this document. They love it so much. The thing made by, I mean, it's cliche, but it's true, by a bunch of syphilitic slaveholders.
Right.
Who, if you showed them a cell phone, would have gone insane.
You're right.
Instantly. Maybe we need to not worship that. But no, I think it is because we are a nation of immigrants and a nation that doesn't really have very deep cultural traditions that the ones we have, we just sort of psychotically hold on to, just as a way to feel some sort of grounding. And that includes forcing everyone to eat the same sawdust-ash bird every freaking year.
Right.
And then try to basically distract from how bad it is with a bunch of sides, which are often very good.
Yeah.
Damn.
And dumping gravy on top of everything.
Right.
This is your favorite holiday, Mike.
Yeah, it's great. What do you, would you do a duck?
Oh, that'd be a great idea. I'd love to do a duck. I've never done a duck, but I would. Goose, too, would be good.
Yeah.
Game hens or something like that also would be good.
Yeah.
You just get some little Cornish game hens. Excellent.
Right. Yeah. I just feel like telling my family that turkey sucks would be like harder than telling them you're gay.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the real giveaway is when else do you make a whole turkey?
Right.
And the answer is never.
Never.
No one would do it.
Right.
No one, because it's like, and they say, oh, it's a hassle and it's something. But yeah, but if it was really good, you'd do it at least a couple times a year.
Right.
You don't want to do it because you have no craving for this thing. It is totally structured into the Thanksgiving ritual. That is the only reason that you want turkey. You don't actually want turkey.
Mm-hmm.
So don't have it.
Right. Yeah.
No
It's like
masters.
It's like Thanksgiving or it's the lunch that your wife makes you when your marriage is falling apart.
Yeah.
You eat turkey and cheese for 10 years and wonder, what happened.
Yeah, tell me about it.
You know what I could do more of? Cranberry sauce throughout the year.
Yeah, we don't.
That is the shame that we don't, because you just get, especially the can, of course. The can is superior to the fresh one. Don't at me on that.
I love them both.
If it doesn't have the ridge of the can on the side, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hell
same.
yeah.
Are you familiar with Wawa?
Yes, I actually I've been to Sheetz when I was driving through Pennsylvania, but I still haven't eaten a Wawa.
Oh, okay. Because they have, you're probably not.
You're probably not interested, but they have a turkey Thanksgiving sandwich that's pretty good.
But there's no way you're going to get down there before Thanksgiving.
Well, you know who else has a Thanksgiving sandwich? Wahlburgers.
Okay.
So that's another option.
We should check them out.
It's the same deal. It's the same deal. I think a turkey burger and then like stuffing and gravy on it.
But turkey burgers suck too.
Well, yeah. Nobody eats them because you want to. You eat them because they're a little
you try to be healthier.
Option.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing about turkey. It's most useful as a substitute for something you'd rather be eating.
Interesting.
Sure. Yeah. That's a great point. What do you do for and then are there any sides that you make or that you do well?
I mean, I'm not a very good cook.
Okay.
I know the sides that I enjoy are the stuffing.
Uh-huh.
Always a fan of stuffing.
Yeah, why don't we eat stuffing more throughout the year?
My girlfriend calls it dressing. Have you guys heard it called dressing before?
That's like a southern thing.
I've heard it called dressing before, but we never call it that.
Okay.
It's stuffing.
Yeah.
And it's good. The thing is that it is literally a thing it's just such a procedure. And people can't think out of the context of it, Like
right.
these things they're not discrete dishes, They
right.
are one meal. And
right.
taking one of them away from that context, like a whole turkey without those things or the sides without the turkey, people's brains kind of start sizzling and smoking. And they're like, I can't compute with that.
I don't even like talking about it.
As we said, since nobody's going to make the whole turkey, that means no, you're not going to make the sides either.
Yeah, exactly. So Matt, we were talking about American traditions. So here's something that I wanted to ask you about. I work for a moving company part-time, and I did a job yesterday and today. The job started at 8:00 in the morning, and it ended at 9:00 this morning. So it was like I worked 26 hours straight, and I feel like. Yeah, and I feel like there's been. Let's talk about the American tradition of hard work, because I feel like a lot of times in my life I've pushed myself at work harder than I needed to, because there's this idea that like you got to be tough and work hard, and I just think it's such a load of shit, because every time you're working hard, you're generating profits for somebody else.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. You're getting ripped off.
Yeah.
Working hard basically never pays in any meaningful sense to you, to the person who's doing it.
Right.
That's for sure.
Unless you're working
that's why
for yourself.
There's a culture. Right. But that's why there has to be such a culture of hard work as a good by itself, because you got to obscure the reality of it.
Right.
So you make it a cultural value so that people feel bad if they don't work, or they feel proud of themselves if they do.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they have not really gotten the benefit of any of it.
Right. Yeah, because I feel like we finished our unload last night at 2:30 in the morning, and then the guys are like, "Yeah, let's drive back, let's tough it out." And I don't know why I didn't just get a hotel, but there's something about there's I don't know, there's something like in our culture that's like, no, we got to work harder than everybody else, and really you don't, and we're nothing without labor.
Yeah, and. It's one of the few ways that you can sort of feel good about yourself.
Good about yourself, yeah.
This culture, because for the most part, you're just a fucking slug who consumes and jacks off. Doesn't really have any.
You don't know that?
It's just kind of way. I mean, not you specifically, of course.
Well,
no, I'm kidding.
The royal you.
Yeah.
Oh well, Matt consumes and jacks off. Let's make no mistake about that.
Yeah, I'm not exempting myself in any way, of course.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. Well, what else? What about desserts? Are you a traditional dessert guy?
Pumpkin pie, and that is something I eat year round. Pumpkin pie, great, love it. Some people prefer the sweet potato pie. I don't know. I just have like a childish aversion to sweet potatoes. I'm sure I would enjoy sweet potato pie. I just normally, if I've got the choice, I'm going to go pumpkin.
Okay.
Classic.
So I'm not as much of a pumpkin pie guy. I like the apple and the pecan, but also it's like, I don't know. The funny thing about Thanksgiving is you are sort of limited with what you can do. If there's anything that kind of deviates, it's a little weird. Like if somebody showed up,
like an apple crisp is still good.
That's
apple
crisp is good. But if somebody showed up with like a blueberry pie, you'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
Yeah, people would freak out if you did that.
Yeah.
Hey, I got some tiramisu for Thanksgiving.
It's like, get the fuck out of my house.
It's like the episode of Everybody Loves Raymond where Deborah made the tofu turkey and everybody hated it. Yeah. Well, that's good. This was a good conversation, because it's like, you don't have to cling to tradition so tightly, folks.
You don't. You don't. There's something better that you could make that's tastier and easier. Like I was saying, we made that ossobuco. It's been a while. It's like 4 or 5 years ago now.
Yeah.
I still think about that, because it had like the bone in there, so you had the marrow. We just browned it. We put it in a crock pot. And then we ate it. And then there was no checking it, no basting it constantly.
Nice.
None of the worrying about it going dry. It was just boom. It was easier, and it was so much better tasting than turkey could have been. No matter how much effort I put in, buying a fucking deep fryer, risking burning my apartment down, any of that shit.
Yeah. How many people are you hosting?
It's probably just going to be us.
Okay. What about a braised rabbit?
Ooh.
You could do that.
I've never had like a full saddle rabbit before. That would be cool.
Yeah,
if I could get
those are like fatty and tasty, right?
You go to Green Grape in Fort Greene. They have whole rabbits for like $50.
Yeah, but they are good. I've had it before. It's very good. It's very good meat. I would eat that for sure.
I made some rabbit.
I'm hoping we can maybe do maybe do seafood this year because if you want to get pedantic about it, that's what they actually served at quote the first Thanksgiving.
Really?
Turkey, maybe not so much. It was venison and lobster and oysters.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know. Yeah. That. Yeah.
Nice.
Now, did they actually get along for the first Thanksgiving, or is that like one of those falsities like the Tooth Fairy? Or
it wasn't what the cartoons tell you or anything, but there was a early alliance there between the natives. It was not a good idea on their part. That was a bungle. They
that was a mistake.
They should have fought us tooth and nail. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, but the thing is, the reason they couldn't is because, and the only reason that those colonies were successful is because a few years before the colonists showed up, some like random fishermen from Europe like blew over onto the East Coast and then left. But they were there long enough to start a smallpox epidemic that basically annihilated the entire native population of the East Coast. Jeez. They were in basically a post-apocalyptic scenario when the Pilgrims showed up.
Really?
They lost something like 2/3 of the population in large areas.
From one guy?
Yeah, well, from the
blankets.
The few European fishermen who'd shown up.
Oh, the few. Okay.
And as a result, they were in such a weak position that, and they were still, in conflict with other tribes that they saw these new people. Hey, we could sort of ally with them. If that hadn't happened, if there hadn't been that asymmetry of illness and that sort of unconscious biological warfare agent that the Europeans had, they probably just would have massacred them immediately, which would have been the right thing to do.
Right. Well, hindsight has 20/20, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, all right, cool. Well, Matt, happy Thanksgiving, and
happy Thanksgiving, Matt.
Thanks for talking to us.
Yeah, enjoy your awful turkeys, everyone.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. That was pretty cool. I didn't know that. About the first Thanksgiving. We need to revisit this the first Thanksgiving.
I was gonna make and that's like how we got the Redskins and Patriots joke, but I wasn't sure if Matt watches football.
Yeah.
How come they don't play on Thanksgiving? I
got to tell you, I'm still uncomfortable talking to intellectuals.
Yeah,
I never know what to say.
Yeah, I started reading that book that Michael Brooks suggested. Democracy in Chains.
Yeah,
and it makes me feel so stupid, but.
Why?
Trying to level up my knowledge, and it seems fucking pointless. There's so much shit everywhere.
Right.
I didn't know half the intellectuals we were talking about last week, so.
Okay.
I
only learned about it like 2 weeks ago. I'm just trying to expand and.
Our fans are like, fuck that person, and you're like, oh, all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great.
Well, that's why I don't know. I like doing comedy because you don't have to back up your ideas.
Right. It's just at the end of the day, is it funny?
Right.
Right.
Anyway, I want some seltzer or I want something to drink, like a glass of wine.
Yeah,
so
and
we're going to take a quick break.
And we'll be right back with our next guest.
Oh, here she is. All right. Hey, Anna Khachiyan.
Yeah, what's up?
How you doing?
Hi.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah, hi.
We're doing a Thanksgiving episode of the show today. It's my favorite holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing? Do you have plans?
Me?
Yeah.
Wait, are we recording now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess I shouldn't reveal how I'm going to a Klan rally.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No,
we'll bleep that out.
Yeah. Yeah. Because apparently I'm
If you're a Nazi,
if we bleep out the word Klan, maybe people will think monster truck instead.
Yeah. Or maybe they'll think of feminist rally.
Ooh, right. Hopefully, maybe
like a yoga retreat or something. Mm-hmm. You know, that's so funny because I had a similar experience this weekend. I did a show in Charlottesville, Virginia, and I did this joke where I reference segregated bathrooms, but it's not an offensive joke. And some girl yells "fuck you" after the joke. And then I did another joke that's like pretty harmless, and another girl heckled that one. And don't you feel like when people say you're a villain, it makes you want to be one?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It makes me want to like detonate the vest, but I'm a pacifist now, you guys. So yeah, it for sure. It makes you like really angry because like you have to like clench your sphincter. It feels like you're like choking on sand or something because like actually they're the villains, like they're the aggressors masquerading as victims.
Right.
And because they have like an air of like kind of geniality and cordiality or whatever, or at least, you know, they're so tepid and mediocre that they have no concept of like irony or like taboo or humor.
Yeah.
People like other dumb people with like poor instincts think that they're nice and credible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's very frustrating. So I'm gonna like log off of the internet and go upstate.
Nice. Are you still banned?
Yeah, I'm permanently suspended
from Twitter.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yes, yeah. I'm permanently suspended
for just calling. That
fucking sucks.
For that.
For calling a multimillionaire a retard. Not even in like a men's sheet to my friend Leia.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who got you banned? Let's go after him.
Twitter's a bunch of retards.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna dignify him by saying his name. But he's a beady-eyed loser with thin skin who is literally a textile multimillionaire.
Mm-hmm.
Like through by family, and his way of kind of like being able to live with himself because you know, like there's such a cognitive dissonance between his wealth and his politics is like going after precarity artists, mainly young women, on Twitter.
It's wacky.
That fucking
sucks.
There's
probably some. I'm gonna go with like there being some sort of psychosexual element to all of this too.
Jesus. Yeah, I saw a little bit of that. That's awful.
Yeah.
Permaban. Yeah. Holy fuck.
Yeah, I'm done.
Jesus Christ.
I'm done, you guys.
So now you just have your 12 burner accounts, right?
No, they also banned my bot, which I have nothing to do with. I think it's just because it has my name in it. I'm just gonna do what Octomom or Farrah Abraham did and pivot into porn.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Solid.
No, but basically it's psychotic because the funny thing, of course, is that Twitter gives a platform to actual fascists,
of course, right.
white supremacists,
and defends it
because they abide, I guess, at least like on the surface of things, by some sort of like community guidelines. Like they're inciting race war politely, you know?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, nothing ever seems to happen to those people.
No, nothing. But yeah, I don't know. What are you guys doing for Thanksgiving?
I'm gonna go to Deb's sister's house in South Jersey.
In New Jersey, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm doing a show in Atlantic City the night before, so I'm not gonna get to make my mashed potatoes or my green bean casserole or anything. So I'm gonna eat whatever they have. So I don't know. It could go one of two ways. I just want to say about Twitter though, there's such a laziness to Twitter because a lot of it is like it's a lot of celebrities with a ton of followers who don't really say anything interesting or dangerous or you know, particularly insightful.
Mm-hmm.
And Anna does, and now she's gone.
I feel like it's their think tank. They're just attacking you guys, you know, like in this case, You know, they attacked Anna, and it's just like, oh, they like that? Oh, okay, I'm gonna keep honing in on that, and it's, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's really.
I think.
Gross.
I mean, I think like none of the kind of attacks that have been pitched against us have been like particularly adequate in my mind. Mm-hmm. And I think like, I was just telling a friend of mine, it's not so much that they kind of relish taking us down because they feel like we're unapologetic for bad things, such as like being ableist or racist or misogynist. I think what really kind of gets their goat is that we express ourselves with a certain degree of certainty that's like pretty much not typical for women as a whole, but also that we're unapologetic because like I have a clean conscience and good faith. You're not going to find any like weird skeletons in my closet.
Yeah, that's dangerous to him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I said this before to Dasha actually on the podcast that we just recorded, and it's like, this whole thing against using the word retard to me is a lot like the thing that backlash against catcalling that was going on a couple of months ago or whatever, years. Mm-hmm. In that it's basically a class war masquerading as like an identity war.
Right.
But because like who says retard? Like working class people
right.
all over America. There's nothing edgy about it, and there's nothing particularly offensive about it.
Right.
But like, and if you can read kind of intention, which none of these people do because they spend all their time behind a keyboard and don't actually have any friends or like significant others or anything. Mm-hmm. But they're like unsocialized puppy mill dogs. Mm-hmm. But like if you were to reverse kind of like if you were to like call it for what it is and say that it's a class war, the people that are now winning that war would become the losers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it turns out that they actually like, I mean, I think it's like really kind of like LOL that I finally got banned. That what really did me in was
and not the N-word.
Was not the N-word. It was like what
it was not saying sorry. If you said sorry, do you think they would have banned you?
Yes, I think my feeling about this is like, you should never, if you feel that you've done nothing wrong, you should never apologize.
Oh,
the minute that you apologize,
100%, 100%. But like, had you been apologetic, do you think they would have like not banned you?
I mean, it happened so suddenly. He just reported me and they took me down. But I just think that it's very funny. It's amusing.
Yeah.
I feel like Kenny Powers now. I feel like I'm a real martyr.
Hell
cause.
Yeah.
Nice.
A Christ-like figure.
Nice.
But like, no, it's funny to me that what ultimately took me down was this fairly like innocuous word that I was using against this guy that he interpreted as the problem with these people, like I was talking to somebody else over DM and she said something pretty astute, which is that these people interpret roasting as abuse.
Yeah.
And I was basically roasting this guy who is not only a multimillionaire but has like.
And you called him a retard?
I called him a retard, yeah. He has like waged a long-standing campaign, a smear and harassment campaign against like my friends, like since I don't know, he went after a friend of mine, Deanna Havas. He went after kind of like another guy I know, Daniel Keller, who are like artists. He called them fascists. Then he started going after like me and Dasha. And it's like super creepy because it's like harassment level. Like he made a video, like a master cut of us saying retard.
Mm-hmm. Right. To just taking all the stuff you said out of context.
Well, that's cool because now you don't have to make it yourself.
No, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, like blaring his video like on a parade float.
Yeah.
Well, how how do you guys feel about this word, or should we not? I shouldn't.
Well, you were comparing it to the catcalling video or the catcalling. I immediately pictured that 8-hour video where they walk around Manhattan and the girl gets catcalled. I would love to see Mike walking around.
Well, that video was funny, but a lot of people made this point in that video. She went up to Harlem, like she went to a place where she knew it would happen. It's not like she went to Soho.
Yeah.
She went to where there's people who do that.
She literally went to, she like sought out low income Black and Hispanic men.
Yeah. Yeah. And
which
also,
is
like,
so gross.
That's how poor people find love. You yell out of a garbage truck, and then maybe that's your wife.
Yeah, that's your grandma someday. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's like super romantic. Every woman like dreams of being snatched up in a non-violent, non-rapey, but kind of a suggestive way by some guy who's like, like has working class bona fides. Yeah. But when it actually happens, like when a guy actually tries to talk them on the street, which virtually never happens anymore because of this whole Me Too culture, they're like, oh my God, he's so creepy. And they like author this whole Medium post and like call Lauren Duca.
Yeah.
Like hyperventilate on Twitter.
That's so funny because it feels like all the people talking about this stuff, it's like a specific group of people. But then I talk to Deb and I talk to you and some other friends of mine, and it's not like this crisis that a lot of the people in media seem to make it out to be. Mm-hmm. See, I knew there wasn't anything wrong with that. I did when I worked at Got Junk. I did try to catcall a girl because I worked with this guy Jonathan, this like Dominican kid who was like 19, who would just do it all day, and he would just roll it down the window and he'd be like, "I'm gonna bite that ass," which maybe that's a little too far.
Yeah, he could be more knight in shining armor, but
yeah,
he's 19.
But I tried. Right, he's got a lot to. Yeah, but I tried to catcall this woman. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah,
you couldn't bring yourself to do it.
Yeah, but I'm a pussy.
Also, like if you're not like a weird frigid media girl, catcalling is flattering, even if you would never in a million years fuck the guy.
Right.
Yeah, it's just
like
nice.
It's always like some like old Black or Italian man who's like
who's harmless.
Hey sunshine, like smile, you made my day, God bless America, and you're just like, thanks. I felt really like hideous and wretched walking out the door this morning, but you it's a mutually beneficial bargain. Right. The only time catcalling is really bad is when it's like that 0.1% of guys who are actually sexual predators and like are like shadowing you for blocks or like threatening you.
Yeah.
Right.
How do you feel about like a guy catcalls and then the woman responds with like a fuck you, like get out of my face? Is that also okay? I mean, like it just seems like it's all fair play out in the streets.
I mean, yeah, for sure. I think it's like you can say what you want to say. I personally think it helps to just smile and say thank you because they don't know what hit them because they expect all women to be like, fuck you, motherfucker! I'm having an awful day at work.
Pull out their camera phone.
Emails, yeah. Like world star that shit.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what I was thinking about today, Anna? Remember like maybe like a month or two ago, there was that incident in Flatbush where that like 50-year-old woman called the cops because she thought that 9-year-old grabbed her ass.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Yeah, she's in a bodega and this 9-year-old kid, his backpack like grazes her, and then she turns around and she's like, there's a video of her, she's like on the phone with the cops. She's like, I was just sexually assaulted by a child, and she's calling the cops, and then all these like all these West Indian people are like yelling at her, and they're like, "You a pedophile! You a pedophile!" But I was thinking about that, and I was like, "Yeah, maybe this is what happens when you ban catcalling." Because that lady's like walking around like, "Am I still pretty?" And then she's like, "Oh, yep, I still got it. A 9-year-old grabbed my ass.
I still got it.
Would fuck."
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Well, okay, like the mistake that all these like fucking lib femmes make is that they're like so stupid and narcissistic and vain that the reason that they want to police like men expressing themselves sexually is because they're ashamed that they're flattered by it.
Right.
And they can't acknowledge that to themselves. And they're also stupid enough to believe that like actual sexual criminals only me to you if you're hot. Like the thing with like compulsive sexual predators is that you could be like I said, a grandmother or a paraplegic, and they'll still try to rape you because they have a disease, a compulsion.
And a fucking rules.
Thanks. But it's like a mazel. I'm a Leo and I'm going through a tough time. So
hell yeah.
I appreciate being gassed up by some fellas.
Yeah, support from a Capricorn.
Yeah, you got it. And if you see Anna on the street, don't hold back. Let her know she's beautiful.
Thanks. As Dasha said, I dare any of my haters to kill me.
Oh yeah.
So we were talking about this earlier. So like, I don't know why, but Thanksgiving is like my favorite holiday, and I guess it's kind of a dress rehearsal for the more like serious winter holidays. But it is a very like standard affair. There's not a lot of deviation from like tradition. But how do you think you can like express yourself with the stuff you serve at Thanksgiving?
Throw it at your spouse in an angry fit of rage. I don't know.
Flip the table over. Yeah. I mean, is there anything that you do? Like, do you make like a cocktail, or do you make like a side or a I don't know, a dessert or something that's
well, I'm an immigrant, so to me this is like a confusing foreign tradition that I sort of fetishize because I like family holidays, and my like weird dysfunctional parents were like never into kind of like sentimental familial occasions because they like rationalized it as a sign of weakness or something.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't do anything special whatsoever. I avoid my family and mooch onto like somebody else with like a bigger, warmer family so I can eat their food.
Nice.
I like that.
Yeah. So it's just not something that you really did.
No, I mean we sort of did it, but like my mom is weird and would always do something awkward to the turkey, like that's like not normal. Like we wanted like American style like stuffing, like stovetop type shit. And she would put like a vinaigrette salad or something up in there. I don't know. It was like always some like weird twisted artistic gesture.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
appreciate the effort.
Yeah, but sometimes the kind of like people want the basic bitch thing.
Right. The results don't always equal the efforts.
Sure.
Yeah. Why? So you said that Thanksgiving is your favorite holiday. Why is that? Because it's fairly like no frills and you get to eat?
Yeah, it's no frills. You get to eat. It's low key. You see your family, and then it's I was saying it's also always kind of a disappointment. I think I'm comfortable with that.
Why is that?
I don't know. I'm just comfortable with things being like underwhelming.
Yeah, but why do you think why is it a disappointment?
Just because it's like you shower, you drive to Jersey, you show up, you eat, and then it's over. And it always ends up being kind of like uneventful.
Yeah, but that's nice because like with Christmas, like with Halloween, there's all this pressure to dress up, and then with Christmas, there's all this pressure to like give gifts, and I don't like that shit. I like the family gathering just because I really like like in The Sopranos when Janice keeps the tradition of the Sunday dinners alive. I mean, opportunistically or whatever, but it's cute.
Yeah.
I wish I had a family to spend Thanksgiving with. Like donate to the Patreon.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, our $50 subscribers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Well, happy Thanksgiving. Are you making anything?
Am I making anything? No, I'm mooching. I'll probably buy like a magnum of wine.
There you go. Just bring something nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a baby because I figure that might
that'll trigger the
Yeah. I was thinking like the way that I pivot from this pathetic and disgraceful campaign against me is I should just like live my truth and become a fat housewife.
Nice.
That'd be tight.
Yeah. Well, good luck.
Yeah.
And thanks for talking to us.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours.
You too.
You too.
Yeah. I'll see you guys in hell.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right. Bye, Anna.
Bye, Anna.
Bye.
Nice. Yeah, that sucks. I didn't realize she was permanently banned.
That's bullshit, dude.
It's just funny.
They're not going to end the word either, you know?
Yeah.
You can't stop the R word.
She's just unapologetically herself.
Yeah, and it's cool. You don't have to agree with it, but like, God damn it, you can respect somebody for having an opinion and sticking to it.
I love that her cold Russian upbringing just comes in.
Right. You know?
Those are the kind of people that I feel.
When she says femlibs and like it sounds so dirty, I was like, I love this one. She's great.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Can I pitch you something? Can we have your mom on the premium? Like, we're good on an episode here if you wrap it up.
How much time do we have?
It's like over an hour right now.
All right, let me call Matteo real quick, and then that's
Wait,
it.
what? No, what?
Just real quick. 5 minutes.
Because like I'm at one.
Let me see if he even picks up.
All right.
You're at one bar.
Hello.
Hey, ciao, benvenuti.
Grazie.
Come va?
Bene, grazie. Tu?
Sì. Voglio parlare Thanksgiving.
Ok, parliamo di
Thanksgiving. How do you say about again? Yeah, that's right. Okay, so just real quick. Are you cooking? Are you making anything? Do you like Thanksgiving, or do you find it a little too rigid?
I don't like Thanksgiving. I don't like Thanksgiving in general, but I like Christmas better. Thanksgiving seems like a waste holiday.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's always my dad's side of the family, and they're just like boring and not fun and not Italian, so I never have a good time, and the food sucks.
Yeah.
And then like my mom's family is like jumping off of the boat from Italy and Mexico, so the food is always better and life is better.
Right,
nice.
Right.
So I don't know,
Just
but yeah, Thanksgiving.
What is your dad? He's Irish.
Yeah, he's Irish.
Okay.
British Irish, I think, just Irish, but not like ta-ta-ta-ta. He's like
Right.
6 generations.
I still can't believe we've never cooked a meal together.
I know. Well, we kind of have, like me, like as your fairy godmother, being like 2 cloves of garlic.
Yeah,
but not in the same room.
Right. I was just saying, it's I miss having my grandmother around when you're cooking, just for her to like give you pointers and stuff.
What's your favorite thing your nonna cooks?
I mean, she made gnocchi that was good.
And gnocchi's hard to make too.
Yeah. She like I didn't appreciate it until I started making pasta, but man, it's really fucking like just tedious. You have to have like a part of your brain missing or something to make that much. Because when my uncle would come and visit, she'd make pasta for everybody, and you got to be like, I don't know, like a Neanderthal or something to want to shape and form that much dough.
Well, they also didn't have like Instagram or anything else to do in Italy back then. It was like you either died at age 13 or you made pasta.
Yeah.
So to them, it was great.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
You know, not much has changed in my family in Sicily. They're just in the middle of the desert talking about the earthquake that happened 60 years ago.
Right.
So pasta's like the fun thing to do.
Right.
But I enjoy
it's like how you express
pasta.
yourself.
Italian food is.
You don't have pasta on Thanksgiving though, do you?
Yeah, of course. With my mom's family, we have lasagna.
As the main course, or as like a appetizer course?
As the main course.
Okay. Oh, nice.
For sure. I don't like turkey.
You don't do the sides? Yeah, no one does.
If turkey was better, we'd eat it more than once a year.
Exactly. That's what that seems to be the consensus. So let me ask you this. So maybe we should just jump ahead to the Christmas lasagna. We can chat about that a little bit.
Sure.
Because it's not too early to start thinking about that.
Right.
So I do a Christmas lasagna every year. I start with the bolognese. I cook that for about 4 hours. I do.
Yeah. How do you make because I do a bechamel bolognese lasagna too.
I do a bechamel too, and you know what? I think you have to go bechamel. I think like ever since the first time I did it with a bechamel sauce, I was like, oh, I was like a peasant before this. I think ricotta is like for amateurs.
Well, what you can do, like what I'll do is I'll make a bechamel. A bechamel is, flour, butter, and milk, but then you season it with salt, pepper, and a little bit of nutmeg, and then I put a little Parmesan cheese in there, fresh grated Parmesan cheese, just to give it some flavor, and then let that cool. And then what I will do is I will take a little bit of like whole milk ricotta. And normally my sister makes the ricotta, but if you can't, whatever. Yeah. So you get the ricotta. I put an egg in it, and I'll put a little salt and pepper and pecorino cheese. Okay. And so when you're layering, I will put bechamel and then glob a little bit of the pecorino ricotta on top of that, just to kind of mix it with the bechamel. And then you do your bolognese.
Nice.
God damn, dude. I'm hungry now.
And then any tricks with the bolognese? Because I just do the onions, the garlic, and I do like a pound and a half of ground beef, and then a pound of hot sausage, brown that, and then I do some red wine. I reduce it with a red wine, and then add the tomatoes.
So we make ours different because what I'll do is I saute pancetta in olive oil, and then I will put in chopped onion, celery, carrot, and chopped garlic.
Okay.
Season that with salt and pepper and let that really cook down. Then I will mix it with beef, veal, and pork.
Okay.
And then what I do with that is I cook that till it's completely crispy and brown.
Okay.
And then I will mix in tomato paste, not tomatoes, tomato paste. Mix that in and then put milk with that. And then that helps make it like this pasty, creamy,
oh my god!
Orangey bolognese.
Right.
You can put thyme in it too.
Nice cream. Yeah.
So it's not like super tomatoey.
No, because a true bolognese, not to like really wop out here, but like a true bolognese, there's like
I don't know if you know the podcast you're on.
But like, who am I talking to, by the way? Who's the other voice?
Matt Anderson.
Oh, work. Hey, girl. So, yeah, but like, and I'm actually sitting with an Italian from Italy. I should put you on speaker. Hold on a second. Con un bolognese che tu lo fai con pomodori o senza pomodoro? Would you make it with tomatoes or without tomatoes?
Non lo so come si fa la bolognese.
You don't know how to make a bolognese? Lying. He's shy. He's shy, but he's a dancer. So, true. Like Italians will argue over whether or not you use tomato.
Okay.
I just use tomato paste because it adds like a nice rich flavor. But I don't put tomato.
What kind of tomato paste do you use?
I'll get even like a cento tomato paste.
Yeah. Okay.
Tomato. What? I pelati? Che cos'è? What? We're just whopping out of it. We're also watching the British Bake Off.
Oh, nice. So the base of your bolognese is the milk.
The base of it is, I guess it would be like the pancetta and the meat, but like you end it with. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed out a step. Once I put in the tomato paste, I put in white wine and I reduce the white wine.
Okay.
And then I put in the milk.
Oh, okay. Milk's last, obviously. Yeah.
And the milk is kind of what makes it like liquidy,
nice and orange.
It makes it like almost pasty, like a cremoso, like pasty. And I let that cook down for a long time.
Well, like you talking like 4 or 5 hours?
From start to finish, I'd say about that time, 4 hours maybe.
Okay.
Wow.
And then what do you do if you find the sauce is getting too thick? Do you add more liquid or chicken stock or?
You can even add water anytime something gets too thick. Even like a normal pomodoro, just add water because that will cook down anyway.
It'll cook down. Okay.
Right.
Smart.
Nice.
But you kind of want your bolognese to be like pasty.
Right.
Yum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe that tomato sauce is a little too like for amateurs, or it's a little too Americanized.
It depends on the region you're from in Italy. I think like a bechamel bolognese is like a northern Italian thing, and you can also make your lasagna with.
Do you put mozzarella on it too?
I don't put any mozzarella on it, but it would be great if you put mozzarella on it.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to. I just remember my bisnonna always said never put mozzarella on top of like your lasagna when you cook it. You should be sauced.
Oh, why is that?
I don't know. It might be a Naples thing. I have no idea.
Interesting.
Okay.
You said Christmas lasagna? This is like a Christmas tradition for your family?
Yeah, or you can make my grandma will sometimes make lasagna where it's like with a ragu instead. So it'd be like a red sauce with the ricotta and spinach and scamorza and ricotta and that type of lasagna too. Sometimes she puts nutmeg or cinnamon in her ricotta and it gives it a nice flavor.
That's nice. You can't go overboard with the nutmeg though.
No, you really just have to put a little bit. Like I'm actually
because my instinct is to put too much.
Yeah, if you put too much, it's like, oh great, it's like a cinnamon roll lasagna. But I'm making what I'm making for Thanksgiving because I'm eating at Evan and Felicia's house. Evan Williams, the comedian, and I'm making 2 pies, apple kuchen, which is a take on apple pie, and then I'm making key lime pie because Evan loves key lime pie, and then I'm making macaroni and cheese.
Perfect.
Nice. That's a good like if you want to.
You're a star player in this.
Yeah, when you call an Italian to a dinner, they better show up.
Yeah.
Right.
You're not bringing a bottle of wine.
No, you got to be like, "Hi, I'm the star of the show."
Hell yeah.
And then before we go, what kind of cheese do you use for your mac and cheese?
So what I got is I actually like pretty traditional. My sister likes to use cheddar, Swiss, mozzarella, and Parmesan. I just got mozzarella, mild cheddar, sharp cheddar, and Parmesan because I mix that with a bechamel, like a roux. So you almost create like a bechamel kind of sauce. You mix like your your flour, butter, and cook that down, and then you put it with milk, and then I mix the cheeses in that, and then salt, pepper.
Okay.
And honestly, you could put a little nutmeg. I'm the only person who doesn't like crumbs on top of my mac and cheese.
Oh, yeah, you might be.
Because if I feel like if you put a layer of cheddar cheese on top and then broil the cheddar cheese, you get the crunchiness, but it's cheese. And I don't know. Sometimes breadcrumbs are fine, but sometimes people do too much, and then you're just eating fucking breadcrumbs.
I see. Yeah, it could be too much.
Maybe they're not, because I think what you have to do with the breadcrumbs is put some melted butter on top, and then it cooks better.
Yeah, you can you can pre-cook it and then put that on top and then like broil it. But I don't know.
Melted cheddar sounds just as good, if not better. You know?
Yeah.
Just that.
Yeah, I like a little bit of a crunch on the mac and cheese. I like a crunch on the mac and cheese.
Yeah, and you can get a crunch with the cheese. It doesn't have to be. Yeah. But everyone does it differently. I don't know.
Yeah.
My friend's mom, they were like white as the driven snow and like didn't know how to like cook, and I think like their secret ingredient to everything was like water and air. But they were like one of these people that cooked and they think that like the oven seasons it. So she made macaroni and cheese every year and it was just terrible.
Yeah, we really taught this country how to eat.
Yeah, Italians and French, I think, are the only white people that actually know how to cook. Everyone else is just sort of like floundering to pretend they know what they're doing.
Yeah. Spain?
I mean, Spain is just like a boring Italy.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Greeks,
yeah.
Italians, and the French. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, Scotland, Ireland, England. I mean, Germany. Forget about Luxembourg. Let's not even go there.
I know, because like when Deb and I went to Croatia, it's all just like food to like get you through the day.
Right. You know? It's not like food to like nourish your life and change everything.
Right. Yeah. They're literally like rations that you're eating.
Like no food in Albania inspires sex. You know what I mean?
No.
No food in Romania will get someone fucked.
Yeah, like an aphrodisiac of like saltine crackers.
You really forget that these places exist. I mean, Albania is kind of like they're like a poor country, but Romania, I feel like there's no excuse. Like it's you got to get your shit together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like you go there and you become a gypsy. I'm not really sure what Romania is all about. But if anyone's Romanian, I could give two shits.
Good.
And I feel like in America, like, you know, like, look, Mike, I know you can cook, but like, where are you from? Like, where are you? Are you also from New Jersey or no?
No, I'm from the Midwest originally, so I don't have any strong roots.
The Midwest has notoriously the worst food in the world.
Yeah.
So like,
my family's Swedish, so like we had like during like the holidays they do like lefse, which is like rolled up tortillas and butter and sugar. It's just like really gross stuff, like a lot of like lutefisk and I don't know. This is gross.
If the Swedish are anything like their furniture, I feel like the food is okay, but it falls apart quickly.
You're close.
You suck our dicks, IKEA.
Yeah, IKEA. I don't know, but my dad's, I don't know. I guess in the South they cook really well, like biscuits and
but not really, because it's almost like cheating what they do down there.
They have roux and gumbos and
yeah, but everything is like bacon and cheese and starch. So like of course it's going to taste good.
Well, New Orleans, I think, has some of the best food.
New Orleans is different. That's different.
Yeah, fuck you.
I mean, New Orleans, it's hard to find bad food in New Orleans.
But when you look at the South and the cuisine they produce, I mean, it's fried chicken and meatloaf, and I don't know.
Right.
There's not a lot of thought behind it.
It's the only reason we need universal health care.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know what I mean? They'd be better off smoking.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know the heart can take so much. But yeah, that's what I'm making for Thanksgiving: mac and cheese, key lime pie, and apple cooking.
It sounds good.
Because the whole thing we've been trying to figure out this whole episode, I mean, before we go, is like just how to sort of like put your own little spin on Thanksgiving, what to do, whether it's like a cocktail or an app. Tim Dillon suggested a cheese plate.
Okay, Tim Dillon.
No, he suggested like a butternut squash soup as like a first course.
Good. Okay, yeah, I like that.
He didn't.
No, but
Mike was the one that suggested the cheese.
No,
plate.
but I like the idea of like a cheese plate or a crostini or something. Just something that they're not expecting.
I'm gonna go along with that. Where I think we always play by the script. And it becomes boring after a while.
Yeah.
Like everyone, I'm doing what mom and it's the same reason people have kids, because my mom and dad did it. It's
right.
like, stop being a hack.
Right.
So
gay.
I feel like, I am girl. Here I am. But I feel like anytime you're not playing by the script, you're gonna have a better Thanksgiving. If someone brings in a cranberry sauce, you're gonna be like, well, I'd rather have diarrhea. If someone brings in like a cranberry
gazpacho
cake or something, it's like, ooh, that's fun. Make the biscuits different, make the mac and cheese different, make the turkey.
I forgot about biscuits. Yeah.
Biscuits are great. My mom makes the best biscuits on the face of the planet.
Right. Yeah. So how do you feel about cream spinach?
How do I treat what?
How do you feel about cream spinach?
Well, spinach is a what? Just like plain or like with other things?
Well, yeah, so you do like a spinach and you chop it up and you mix it with like cream and butter and garlic and onions and stuff.
I'm actually a bigger fan of spinach as like not cooked down than when it is cooked down.
Okay.
I like spinach. Like if I get a salad, I don't want lettuce. I have spinach leaves instead.
Yeah.
I don't know. Cooked down spinach seems very 1940s.
Okay. Fair. What else can you do? Brussels sprouts, green bean casserole. I mean,
fuck that green bean casserole that everyone insists on making every year.
I've never been a fan of that.
No, I don't understand people who like ham.
Oh, okay. Well, I love ham, so
ham. I mean, bring prosciutto or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh yeah, there's better hams. I see what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah, like if instead of bringing a huge chunk of ham that smells and tastes terrible, bring in a beautiful plate of prosciutto with fresh mozzarella, or like crostino or something to like go with it. To like, oh, that's the ham, but better. You know what I mean? Like the New York Times ham.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
Yeah,
I like that
because turkey really is just kind of like an obligatory thing that we all eat for some reason.
Yeah, it's just kind of there. It's just like, oh yeah, I'll have a slice of turkey. Bring me the mac and cheese and mashed potatoes.
Yum.
See, mashed potatoes are something you can get fun with. You can use different types of potatoes, sweet potatoes,
sure.
You can do normal potatoes.
Leave the skin,
garlic,
take the skin.
You can do cheesy. There's so many things you can do with that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, cool. Well, hopefully you guys got some ideas for what to do this holiday.
I hope so. I hope my gay ass helps everyone out there for Thanksgiving.
Hell yeah! I'm glad this was our first time meeting. Technically, I'm excited. It's like tied to all these wonderful recipes. We'll
yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, check out Matteo's special on Netflix.
Yeah, and
it's great.
Crash.
Check out my butt on Instagram.
Oh yeah, you got to get in there.
Yeah, you got a lot of collab work with Stavros, right?
Yes.
I'm always scrolling through Instagram. I just scroll like as a nervous habit, and then like Matteo's ass will pop up, and I don't care.
Yeah, you don't care. Wow.
I want the world to know that I'm following him. Sometimes I'll even show Deb, and I'll be like, "How does he get his body to look like this?"
Well, it's not based off any of the things I just described. So.
Yeah. Well, you keep up the good work. You're going to get better as you age, I think. I think the best is ahead of you.
I hope so. Well, it's nice to talk to you, and hopefully I see you soon.
All right. Yep. Sounds good.
All right. Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving, Matteo.
All right.
All right. Well, we learned a lot today, huh?
Yeah, we did. We got through a bunch of fun guests. I felt like they were all here with us.
And we didn't even have time to talk to my mom. She was supposed to call in.
Right. She might be on the Patreon, I guess.
She's going to be on the Patreon. Guys, if you want to hear more of the show, head over to Patreon. Go to patreon.com/
Right.
Sitdown Pod.
That's right.
That's how we make all the money we make off this show.
Yeah.
Is from that.
Yep. And, like we said earlier.
This Blue Chew that's at my house, we're not paid to talk about it. Actually, I want to get sent some Blue Chew.
What is Blue Chew?
It's that like dick chewable. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, support us on Patreon if you want. Also, please leave us a review.
Yep.
Follow our YouTube page. Follow us on Twitter at sitdownpod@gmail.com.
That's right.
We got to answer emails.
Yep. But if you're here at this point in the episode, most importantly, have a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. We're in the process of redoing our office, and once that is done, once we get that studio,
everything will be different.
I'll tell you what. Actually, this was Shelby's idea. We're setting up our studio, and if you guys want to send us some fan art, draw us something. We'll hang it up in our
shout out to you
in our room.
Better than getting paid.
Yeah, I would.
We'll throw you something. I'm sure. If we choose yours, I'm sure we'll throw you some compensation and shout out to you. So please send us your fan art, and we want it.
Yeah,
we want it.
Matt's phone number is 818-490.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
No, but send us your art. You can email it to us, or I don't know if they can send it through the mail. Should we get a PO box?
No, just send us the high definition GIF or not a GIF, but a JPEG or PNG or whatever it is.
We'll print it out. We'll frame it and we'll put it on our wall.
Yeah, just make sure it's high res so we can print it up. If it's not, we'll ask for a different version.
And preferably black and white.
It's up to you, man.
Because the gallery wall is going to be black and white.
Okay, well, just know that it's got to be black and white.
Preferably.
Right.
We'll take anything. Thank you for listening.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys keep listening, we'll keep making these. We should have ended this episode a long time ago, but you're probably stuck in traffic. You're probably stuck in traffic right now. You need something a little longer to listen to. So you're welcome. God bless. And Cent'anni, baby. Bye-bye.